Because this topic really got my goat. And yesterday I did a monologue on it because I was absolutely furious because I do not like to see women being obliterated and in their place men being put in things that are specifically and solely something that a woman would use, like a bra. And if you saw it the other day, you'd have seen the trans athlete wearing a bra, modelling a bra from Nike and doing some exercise and so on and so forth, and basically parodying, caricaturing a woman, which is just a bit irritating. Trans athlete Caitlyn Jenner slammed Nike following the release of the sponsored TikTok, which features Dylan Mulvaney, is the name of the trans influencer. She took to Twitter saying, "It is a shame to see such an iconic American company go so woke. We can be inclusive, but not at the expense of the mass majority of people, and have some decency whilst being inclusive. This is an outrage." So are we heading towards a future where all major brands virtue signal for marketing? I think they've been doing that for a long time, but maybe they've signalled too far.
You don't want to beat a dead horse, and I'm sure you've seen this all week. This has been the week of the trannies. Oh, transmissions, yeah, we're moving on. Just wanted to kind of play you the insight to this boy's mind. Dylan, the Mulvaney, right? So he's all over the news, you've seen it. When you see this soul, let's just say that, I think you feel a little empathy in the sense it doesn't really know where it's at.
Feeling wrong, feeling guilt.
I'm trying really hard to maintain a relationship with God, and I don't think that He made a mistake with me.
And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God, not get in this
Run up that hill.
places.
I grew up in a very conservative family. God doesn't make mistakes. I spent so many years of my life feeling like an alien, feeling wrong, feeling guilt.
I'm trying really hard to maintain a
So you see this person is a very fragile creature, very delicate, but making a great living. Who does it speak for now? And as we know, the line's being drawn about where you're going to put your money, and guess what? The money doesn't matter anymore. They don't care about the money because they were already dropping sales. The vice president of marketing, a woman, thought it'd be great. There's some pieces you can find on her. But Bud Light, okay, more than Bud Light, Walmart, oh, and who? Ole Hendrickson. What is Ole Hendrickson? That's a clothing, I guess. Ole Hendrickson. KitchenAid, and of course, Tampax. This boy knows all about periods. So we've turned over to insanity, as we know. And just a little piece with the swimmer. When she did tie Leah Thompson, the male turned female, it gets the prize. There's an agenda here, and we know it and we see it. Thank God it's going down. And God laughs at these people. When people are so ungodly and so hateful, as they were to Leah, the swimmer, Riley.
Former elite college swimmer says that she was ambushed and physically hit by trans rights protesters after speaking at San Francisco State University. Riley Gaines posted video on Twitter last night saying she was confronted by a trans rights activist. Gaines is a former competitor of controversial trans swimmer Leah Thomas. Gaines says police escorted her to safety and that she was forced to barricade for 3 hours in a classroom. The university says police did not make any arrests, but that it is conducting an investigation. The attack happened after Gaines spoke last night to students at a Turning Point USA event at SF State. She says she is not against transgender athletes competing, but believes they have an unfair advantage in women's athletics, and there should be more dialogue about how to make athletics more inclusive.
They're chasing her down, and they lock her up for 3 hours. These are the tolerant ones that ask you to be so inclusive. To a girl that boys are saying that they are. Do you see the insanity? When you have righteousness and you live right before God and to the best of your knowledge and ability, there's a covering over you. God hates, he says, the wicked. God doesn't. Yeah, I hate the wicked. Okay? I hate Esau. I love Jacob. So when you get on God's good side, and that means seek, ask, and knock, he's going to join you and he's going to meet you. That's the best part for us in these days, because you see the turmoil that we're in. And there was a prophet in the Old Testament. Just want to read you a little verse to get you an idea why you can laugh at insanity. Because insanity really does still have a choice, and they tell you all about it. How God didn't make a mistake. No, he did not. You're making the mistake. Plenty of people have come out of, plenty of young people that do not want their pieces cut off. That's why he doesn't have his piece cut off, and he speaks for Tampax. Come on, people. So there was a prophet, Elijah, Old Testament, one of the great prophets. And he went up from thence, this is in 2 Kings, 2nd chapter, 23rd verse, and he went up from there unto Bethel. And he was going up by the way. There came forth little children. Oh, now listen to this. God's really going to go off on the kids because he's so hateful of them, right? How can I serve a God who tells them to go kill children? I've heard that silliness. You don't know what kind of children they were. Here we go. There came forth little children out of the city and mocked him and said unto him, Go up, you bald head, go up. And they were mocking the prophet. They was telling them destruction's coming because you're so wicked and evil and lost your minds. That all the way to Joe Biden, the head of this country, will play a clip that he says and watch the insanity of why we're in this state. So he turned back and looked on them and cursed them. Oh, you can't be cursing. Well, yeah, in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood and tore 42 of these kids up. 4 and 2 is 6. It's showing you the mind of man, the carnality. When you're not spiritually minded, you lose it. And that's where you see the country going today. Listen to Joe Biden's statement. And this is, I really appreciate Sky News. Very interesting. This little lady's very cool to watch.
President Joe Biden, who released this frankly absurd statement where he said, transgender Americans shape our nation's soul.
Yes.
Proudly serving in the military, curing deadly diseases, holding elected office, running thriving businesses, fighting for justice, raising families, and much more.
Wow! Trannies are doing everything! Wow, isn't it great? But the rest of America doesn't want to even buy a drink anymore because they're being pushed. This poor child is a sad person. I would pray for this person, but it's very happy, pretending it's living out its fetishes as a 6-year-old girl. So that's the day we're in. Sad to say it. Keep fighting that good fight. We'll see you next week. Like, subscribe. Like it if you do. Subscribe and keep the rumble going because future's coming. We can keep playing games in this world, but God is coming and he's very angry this time. The wrath of God is here. We don't want to be on that side. Stay in the fight. Strive to enter in. Sometimes we don't want to. It's not about your feelings. It's about your faith. God bless you. Continue, and we'll see you next week. Just wanted to kind of make out a point. The very law that you just watched being passed in Ontario is against the very activity that those, let's say, single-minded people used against a real girl. I find that very funny. Just watch it again and then you get to see. Then you get to kind of look at the hypocrisy of it. Because there's nobody still running around beating up trans people. And the last person that said it was a guy named Jussie Smollett. And he lied and got caught and doesn't go to prison or jail like anybody else and does half the third of the time. So it's a lot of lies being presented to you. Very funny. Just wanted to point that out to you. Look at the comparisons of what they're passing in Ontario with this law against trans. And then look at the activity that they did and acted and screamed at her. Check it out. God bless.
Firstly, it enables the Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI+ community safety zone to prohibit within 100 meters of the property any homophobic, transphobic act of intimidation, threat, offensive threats, offensive remarks, protest, disturbance, and distribution of hate propaganda within the meaning of the criminal code. It also comes with it a penalty of $25,000 if prosecuted successfully.